Hello, my friend. My name is Henry. Today, I want to tell you a simple story. It is a story about learning English, but more than that, it is about learning how to think in English. Maybe you have never thought about this before, but after today, I hope you will. A few years ago, I was sitting in a small coffee shop. I had a notebook in front of me. I wanted to write a short sentence in English. Just one simple sentence, but I couldn't. My brain felt slow. I knew the words, but they didn't come out. I was thinking in my own language and trying to translate. It was difficult. It was frustrating. I felt stuck. At that moment, I asked myself a question. What if I could stop translating? What if I could think in English directly? It sounded strange. But something inside me said, try, so I did. I looked at my cup of tea and I said quietly, this cup is small, it is warm. The tea smells nice. That was the first time I tried to describe the world around me in English. It was not perfect. But it was something new, and it felt good. When I left the coffee shop, I kept going. I looked at the street and said in my head, the street is quiet. The sky is dark, the air is cold. I was not speaking to anyone. But I was training my brain. I was using English to think. That night, I felt something different. I felt proud. I didn't need to wait for a teacher or a test. I had made progress on my own. I had changed how I was thinking. I was beginning to think in English. Many learners have the same problem I had. You learn vocabulary, you study grammar. But when it's time to speak, you feel slow, you feel nervous. You stop to translate every word in your mind. This is normal, but it makes communication hard. It takes energy, it makes your brain tired. Let me give you an example. Imagine driving a car. But you are in a country where people drive on the opposite side of the road. You have to think more. You don't feel natural, every move takes time. This is how it feels when we think in one language and try to speak in another. But there is good news. Our brains can change. This is called neuroplasticity. It means our brains are not fixed. They can grow new connections. They can learn new ways of thinking. You just have to practice. When you start thinking in English, you make new brain pathways. At first, it feels slow, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Just like walking through a forest, the first time, it's hard. But if you walk the same path every day, it becomes clear and smooth. Soon, it feels natural. Thinking in English is not only for native speakers. It is not only for students who are good at school. It is for you. Yes, you. If you're listening to this, you can do it. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country. You don't need perfect grammar. You only need the desire to try. You only need to start. I want you to say something with me, out loud, right now. I can train my brain to think in English. Say it again, slowly. I can train my brain to think in English. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. Thinking in English is not about speaking fast or using big words. It is about how you see the world. It is about how you feel inside when you use English. It gives you confidence. It gives you freedom. It makes English a part of your life. So today is your beginning. This is not just a podcast. This is your journey. A journey to change the way you think. A journey to make English your friend, your tool, your new voice. Thank you for listening. Let's take this journey together, one step at a time. One thought at a time. You are ready. Let's begin. Welcome back, my friend. I'm happy you're here. In the last part, we talked about how to begin thinking in English. We said it was possible. We said it can start with simple things like describing a cup or a street. Today, we will go deeper. We will learn how to turn English into something very special. We will turn English into your inner voice. Your inner voice is the voice inside your mind. It is the voice you hear when you are not speaking out loud. You hear it when you wake up and think, what should I do today? Or when you forget something and say to yourself, oh no, I forgot my keys. This voice is with you all the time. Now, imagine that this voice starts speaking in English. That is a big step in your learning. That is when you begin to think in English all day, not just during study time. How do we do this? The answer is simple. We start small. Just like before, we begin with easy sentences. For example, when you wake up, try to say in your mind, I am getting out of bed. When you brush your teeth, say, I am brushing my teeth. When you eat breakfast, say, this is my coffee. It's warm and sweet. You do not need to speak out loud. You can say it quietly in your mind. If you are alone and feel comfortable, you can say it out loud. The important thing is to practice. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. There are also some fun ways to help your brain think in English. One activity is to play with your imagination. Take any object near you, maybe a spoon, a pen, or a shoe. Now pretend you're talking to a child and you want to explain this object in simple English. You might say, this is a spoon, it is silver. I use it to eat soup. This is fun and also good practice. It helps you learn how to describe things simply, which is a very important skill in real life. Here's another fun idea. Every day, choose one feeling. It could be happy, tired, angry, excited, or sad. Now, say 3 sentences in English about that feeling. If you feel tired, you can say, I feel tired. I slept late last night. I want to rest. These little exercises help your brain learn how to talk about daily life in English. It's also important to understand this. Making mistakes is okay. In fact, it's part of learning. I remember one day, I wanted to say, I cooked dinner in the kitchen, but instead, I said, I cooked dinner in the bathroom. My friend laughed so hard. I laughed too. It was a funny moment, and I never forgot the difference between kitchen and bathroom again. So please don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are your teachers. They help you learn faster. Another thing you can do is use what I call anchor words. These are words or phrases that connect to your emotions. They are words that have meaning for you. For example, if you feel peaceful when it rains, you can say, I feel calm when I hear the rain. This sentence is not only in English, but it also connects to your feeling. That connection helps your brain remember better. Try to make one emotional sentence every day. You can write it down or say it in your mind. Over time, these sentences become part of your inner voice. Now, I want to give you a small challenge. Look around you. Find one object. It could be a plant, a chair, or your phone. Now talk to it in English. Yes, it sounds funny, but it works. Try to say 3 sentences. For example, you are my phone. I use you every day. Sometimes you make me tired. This little game helps you become more comfortable with thinking in English. Every small step you take helps your brain. You are building a new habit. You are creating new pathways in your mind. You are teaching your inner voice to speak a new language. This is not easy, but it is possible, and it is powerful. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You only have to keep going. You only have to try a little every day. And with each small step, English will become a part of you. Your thoughts will become English thoughts. Your feelings will find English words. Your inner voice will grow stronger. And one day, you will realize, I don't need to translate anymore. I think in English now, so let's keep going together. Your English brain is growing. Your new voice is speaking. And this is just the beginning. Welcome back, my friend. You've come so far. In the first part, we talked about starting to think in English. In the second part, we learned how to turn English into your inner voice. Now, it's time for the next step. This is the part where English becomes a part of your daily life. This is how you start living in English, every day, every thought. Many people believe they must live in an English-speaking country to become fluent. But that is not true. You don't need to move to the UK or the USA. You don't need to take a plane or change your home. You can live in English right where you are. You can build your own English world around you. Let me tell you a little secret. I learned to speak and think in English while living in a small apartment. I didn't have native English friends. I didn't go to an English school. But I made English part of my world. I changed the language on my phone to English. I put small notes with English words on things in my home, like table, mirror, door, and cup. I listened to English songs while I cleaned the room. I watched short videos in English while I ate dinner. I didn't study all day. But I gave my brain little English moments, many times each day. Slowly, English became the air I breathed. You can do this too. You can create a routine that includes English. In the morning, when you wake up, say your plan for the day in English. For example, today, I will go to work. I have a meeting at 10. After that, I will meet a friend. In the afternoon, listen to a short podcast or a YouTube video in English. Try to understand just a few sentences. Don't worry if you don't catch every word. In the evening, write 3 short sentences in a notebook about your day. These habits are simple, but they are powerful. They teach your brain to use English all day long. Music can also help you live in English. Music is full of feeling. Music stays in your mind. Create a playlist of English songs that match your mood. When you feel happy, play happy English songs. When you feel calm, choose soft, quiet music. When you feel strong, choose songs with powerful words. Sing along, even if you don't know all the words. Feel the music, let it become part of your English heart. Another great way to stay motivated is to celebrate your small wins. Buy a jar or a small box. Each time you learn a new phrase or think a full idea in English, write it on a small piece of paper. Put the paper in the jar. This is your language jar. Over time, you will see many papers inside. These are your victories. When you feel tired or slow, open the jar and read what you have done. You will feel proud. You will remember how far you have come. Sometimes, you may feel that progress is slow. That is okay. Learning a language is not a race. It is a journey. You are growing every day, even if you don't always see it. Some days are easy. Some days are hard. That's normal. The important thing is to keep going. Just one English thought every day is enough. That thought is a seed, and soon, it becomes a tree. Now, take a deep breath. Think about who you are today. Think about where you started. You have changed. You are not just a person learning English. You are a person who is learning to live in English. Your brain is stronger. Your confidence is bigger. Your world is wider. Thinking in English is not only about words. It is about becoming a new version of yourself. You are braver now. You are more curious. You are more open to the world. English is not just a tool. It is your second voice. It is your second mind. So, say this with me one last time. I am living in English. Every day, every thought, say it slowly. Say it with your heart, because it is true, and because you are doing it. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this journey. Today, you followed a true story. It was the story of Henry, a man who, like many of you, once felt lost when learning English. He could not speak easily. He had to translate every word in his mind. He felt nervous and slow, but one day, everything changed. Henry decided to try something new. He started to think in English. At first, it was difficult. But step by step, thought by thought, he trained his brain. He spoke to himself. He described his daily life. He listened to English music. He wrote short notes, and he never gave up. Over time, English became more than a language for Henry. It became a part of his life. It became his second voice, his second way of thinking. He didn't just study English, he lived in English. He created an English world without moving to another country, and today, you did the same. So, what is the lesson in this story? The lesson is simple but powerful. If you want to master something, you must live with it. You must make it part of your daily life. This is true for language, but also for everything else, for confidence, for kindness, for success. It is not about being perfect. It is about showing up every day, even for 5 minutes, and making a choice to keep growing. So, how can you apply this to your life? Start small. Create tiny English moments. Think one thought in English each morning. Sing one line from a song. Write one sentence before bed. And when you feel tired, remember Henry, remember his story. And remember, you are building something strong inside your mind. Now, I want to say this clearly. You did something amazing today. You listened to a full English story. You practiced your listening. You improved your understanding. You took one big step forward in your English journey. And now, it's time for a little quiz. Here's your question. What was the first thing Henry described in English? A. His favorite book. B. A cup of tea. Type your answer in the comments, A or B. Let's see who is really listening. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel. That way, you don't miss the next episode. Your support helps us continue to make more stories to help you learn. Also, if you feel this content helped you, please consider donating to the channel. In the beginning, it's not easy to make high-quality lessons. We work for free to support your English learning. Every little bit helps us stay strong and motivated to keep creating better content for you. Thank you again for being here. Keep going, keep believing. And remember, every English word you learn brings you closer to the person you want to become.